Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having that was a weird sentence, that you're all having a great or fantastic day. Thank you all once again for leaving likes, comments, or subscribing. All of those things are very much appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. You know the deal. I just woke up, my brain's not all there, so words don't make sense. It's because I just waked up. Yes, for those of you not looking at the screen, we're going to go backwards and then we're going to go forwards just to show you that the cryptocurrency space never is not ridiculous. It says Bitcoin targets a record 8th weekly red candle while Bitcoin price limits weekend losses. Yeah, for some reason, I think the 8th consecutive week ever for Bitcoin was in the red. Which is a record. I think before it was only around 5 weeks. Usually people look to the end of weekends as if we were the stock market to see if Bitcoin's price is the same, has gone up on a whatever kind of 24-hour basis. Or like we keep getting news like if Bitcoin closes above this number, but the cryptocurrency market never closes. And this is why it's a very weird, archaic metric to look at. A lot of the news yesterday morning was roughly around woe is us, cryptocurrency prices down, can't believe it, so sad, why aren't things any different? And then, oh my gosh, what's that? That's absolutely crazy. I can't believe that one. It says Bitcoin jumps by 3% and has reclaimed $30,000 once again. And there's like a really weird like clay hand holding up a clay Bitcoin. I don't really understand the significance of that. So yeah, it appears as if the market has received a bit of relief, a slight bit of recovery from the terrible places where we were just a couple of days ago. We're getting a lot of calls for if Bitcoin has already bottomed, if Bitcoin is at bottom prices. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says investment strategist Lynn Alden is calling a mid $20,000 Bitcoin super deep value, i.e., if we end up hitting those numbers, you might remember sometime last week we received news from around 2 or 3 people in the cryptocurrency space that they were expecting a $20,000 Bitcoin, i.e. if things really hit the fan, prices would drop and collapse, and they were expecting $20,000 to kind of be the bounce-off point that we'd be able to really skyrocket from that moment on. However, a lot of them are saying that if we get into the 20,000s, this is not financial advice. This is already a really good place to accumulate. It's like this is why we keep entering the 20,000 something-esque numbers and then immediately move back above $30,000 once again, as we can only assume, as is normal, that a bunch of whales are buying anytime prices are actually moving below 30K in the THEEEEE most popular price news story of the day. It says Terra Luna's price soars by 40%. Do Kwon has this to say. So there's a lot going on with Luna. It is constantly in the news. I wonder why. The idea being a couple of days ago, it's been almost 7 days now, we had news from the founder, I think he's the founder of Terra Luna, that allegedly they were going to fork the chain, create a new chain from the old chain, and start doing a little airdrop on people who held the older coins and people who are holding coins now, and another 25% allocation to the Luna Foundation, something decentralized, something or other. One of the other proposals that was thrown out there was for a token burn. A lot of people said that they liked the idea of, instead of creating a new chain, simply burning a massive amount of coins and therefore bringing Luna's price back to where it previously was. Part of the issue is, and this also happened about half a year ago with Cardano, is a lot of people don't understand what a coin burn actually means or who it actually has to come from. So when people in the community ask for a coin burn, they usually want the founders or any other foundation to simply burn their coin so that the holders of said coins can benefit the most. That's like asking a bank, well, we lost all of our money in our bank accounts. Why don't you just burn all of your money in the accounts, and therefore we can benefit once again? So I think a burn wallet address has been activated, initiated, created, and people can now send their coins there to go burn them. And for those of you who remember the entire Cardano thing, Cardano's price wasn't moving for a while. And people were getting a bit impatient with the project, and were telling, what's this guy's name? Hoskinson, that he should make a Cardano burn address to start burning coins. And the idea was the community was telling him, hey, you burn your own coins. And he's like, no, you burn your own coins. And that was kind of the back and forth that actually ended up taking place. So price-wise, the most popular news out there by a long shot. It says Terra gains 100% amid insane volatility as analysts remain split on a gigantic Luna recovery. The only negativity I really see from or towards Luna at this point, after the announcement of a new chain and airdrop, which people also always love, is basically either people who don't. Now, this is my opinion. I am not a know-all. I cannot know everything, but scouring the internet every day for news, this is what I've come up with. It seems to be a lot of people who are Ethereum enthusiasts, who are DAI stablecoin enthusiasts, or whatever the other cases might be, basically announcing that Terra was a failure, therefore use our coin instead. I do not see a large part of the community, unless people lost, millions of dollars. They're in their own camp of anger, which is justified at this point. But the only analysts, air quotes, I see talking about being split on it are telling people not to get into Luna, use our coin instead. It just kind of don't look at what they've done, look at what we're doing instead, even if some of our projects are also garbage. So yeah, Terra Luna, my friend was telling me yesterday, hello friend. He was sending me messages about the price had risen by 50%, it had fallen by 20%, had risen by 100%, had dropped by 30%. It was this really weird, kind of like the good old days for Bitcoin, where prices were all over the place. But I think once we get proper official news in the next couple of days that the fork is definitely going to happen, I think that's when the real price movements will begin. Because if people get news of that they'll be able to buy Luna and therefore receive an airdrop in the future for it, that's kind of, we've seen remember what happened to XRP when they were supposed to be having their airdrop and every other coin? Prices tend to historically do pretty okay. On top of that as well, it says Ethereum indicators gradually turning bullish. What to expect? For those of you who missed the news, about 3 or 4 days ago, apparently there was a conference that was taking place, and one of the Ethereum developers basically announced that in the next couple of days, we will be seeing the final iteration of the test nets. And he also mentioned basically they're done with the upgrade. They want to finish off the last test net to see how it's working. Is everything in order? Does everything check out? Everyone, I assume, will be able to also test it out. It is a test net. And then he mentioned August. He said it just makes sense, as in the time frame for the actual official upgrade. So Ethereum's price has been going up for the last 2 or 3 days, roughly. I mean, not by an enormous amount, by 2 or 3%. We are officially above $2,000 once again. I assume usually we tend to have like a lock-in date for upgrades. It's happened for every single coin. They know exactly on which block it will be happening, and they can kind of mathematically say if every block is happening every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Therefore, on this exact date, we will be having the upgrade. And this is why I assume it's turning bullish. I will remind everyone, the only way in the future to be able to create Bitcoin, to create Ethereum, is by owning Ether. Like, you will have to have it to be able to create the new coins. And we saw heavy movements before, months ago, with people gobbling up as much. That person, okay. Sorry, don't even mind my brain right now. Anyway, the point is, yes, Ethereum's quite bullish. It's going to continue to be so simply because the upgrade appears to be allegedly happening in August. And I'm expecting a crazy price increase, but I think we need like an actual lock-in date. Also floating around out there, once again, is this entire idea of if it's going to happen, let it happen, and it'll be a great time to get into the market. There's a lot of really weird, and I think people need to go outside and get some air. A lot of really weird praise once again happening for Michael Saylor and Microstrategy, as they announced recently and continue to have to announce that they're not selling any Bitcoin. Every time MicroStrategy, this happens all the time. MicroStrategy announces, we're not selling Bitcoin. We're true believers. And they buy up tons of Bitcoin. And then when Bitcoin's price go down, everyone panics and starts asking MicroStrategy, are you guys selling? And they go, no, once again, for the 45,000th time, let's reiterate, we're definitely not selling any Bitcoin. And yeah, online, it's kind of, I don't know. It's actually kind of weird to keep seeing people heaping praise on. Anyway, so the point is, yeah, they believe that the prices of everything going down is going to be great for the market. I was chatting with someone yesterday. I don't think she watches the channel. Hello, I don't think she even knows the name of the channel. It's so weird, the conversations that you can actually have with people when they know that like you're in finance in any sort of way. She was telling me that her brother like hates the cryptocurrency space and has been like reveling in the fact that prices have gone down. And I was like, well, what do you think? And she's like, I don't own any, but I actually kind of like Bitcoin. And she was telling me like the idea of decentralization and all these other things. And I was like, I would have never known that about you. We've never had a financial conversation before, but she was talking about how like her brother was like, yeah, real estate's the only way to go. And I might buy some gold and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, you know, gold is garbage. You know, that's just my opinion. But also like, historically, like, first of all, we're not even the only market crashing. Everything is crashing in tandem. But also historically, whenever the cryptocurrency market we saw Bitcoin fall down to $2,000. I don't understand why that. How do people not remember that? And then we went up to 70,000. If that's not the greatest comeback story in all of history, I'm not really sure what is. But even the stock market, you know, we've had mega insane crazy stock market crashes in 87 and in 2000 and 2009 2008, and then we always recover. So I don't get why people see prices going down in the market and they go, it's never going to go back up again. All right, everybody, let's start digging up for palladium or something. So anyway, she was more financially literate than I had previously understood, and it was quite nice to have a conversation with her. That was not too bad. It says Bitcoin registers a strong bullish divergence, moving past $30,000. So here is allegedly, apparently, I don't knowly, the news. It says Bitcoin spikes after the Federal Reserve says it won't hike rates that much. So this also happened a couple of days ago. It's from Bloomberg. It says stock markets are overpricing a recession risk. This was said by somebody at JP Morgan. The idea is we were told that on the 1st of June, the Federal Reserve is meant to have another meeting, discussion, stand on a podium, and basically announce that they're going to be raising interest rates once again. Apparently, they have hinted at the fact that they are going to be doing a 0.5% raise, but the math of it all says that the market is pricing in a 0.75% raise, and therefore things are dropping, were dropping, something dropping a little bit more than they should have. So the idea of a recession is very strong, very near, a great possibility. However, it does not appear that people really understand exactly what the point increase is going to be moving backwards. And then the Fed had to reiterate, hey, stop it. You know, sit down. We're not doing a 0.75% raise. We're doing a 0.5% raise, as they're trying to reel in inflation. Oh, I also think the 1st of June, as far as I read, is meant to be the day where they stop a lot of their purchases. So remember, they were printing trillions of dollars. and they were using all that money to buy up securities and equities from the stock market. It's meant to be an opposite quantitative uneasening, basically them not buying as much as they were before to keep the market propped up. So I've been telling other people, because I've had a lot of people asking me, and I'm telling you as well, look for the 1st of June. If we are so closely correlated to the stock market as we have been for the last 9 months, if they drop on the 1st of June because they raise rates, expect us to also drop as well. But, no one knows the future and all that stuff. And also talks of like nearing capitulation. Like we are near, allegedly, the point where prices will drop. Everyone will go, wait, that's way too cheap. And then things will move back up. So the shortest bear market in all of the universe, I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's all the price news. There was a lot to cover. To be fair, there's a lot going on. So we'll see. Got about a good 8 days left. We'll see if the financial world has collapsed around us. But once again, like I always say, people don't remain in fear forever. At some point, people do pick themselves up, go back to their bank account, and they go, okay, I got a little bit more to spend. And they start throwing money back into the market. Markets increase. People see something went up by 12%. They didn't buy it before. They buy it now. It goes up by 20%. They go, let me put more into the market. And that's just the market cycles. Yeah, that's all of the price news that we currently have right now. And yeah, let's move on. So this is extremely popular news, and I get it, but also stop it. This should not have been news at all. The chairman of the U.S. Commodities Futures Trading Commission, or the CFTC, says that he is certain that Bitcoin and Ether are commodities. He outlined how his agency is working with the U.S. SEC to regulate the crypto sector, noting that there are no customer protections right now in the cryptocurrency market, and that's because the U.S. SEC and therefore also the CFTC have refused over the course of the last 7 years to give anyone actual protection within the United States. That's why there are no protections. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. CFTC Chairman Rostin Benham discussed the regulation of cryptocurrencies by the CFTC and the SEC in an interview with CNBC, a lot of C's in there, last week. The chairman was asked to comment on a bill in Congress that asks to put the SEC in charge of security tokens and the CFTC in charge of commodity tokens. I don't know if you got the nonsense of that sentence. He said this is a bit of an old age issue because they have refused to give any proper regulation between the CFTC and the SEC. We have a great relationship historically. Within the space, in my views, it makes sense for commodities. Here's the sentence of a lifetime. It makes sense for commodities to be regulated by the Commodities Futures Trading Commission and for securities to be regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. I mean, just a master of words. I could have never put it better myself. So a lot of things. Jeez Louise. This is very popular news today. The idea being, for some reason, I don't know why. Why do you all need this? People in the cryptocurrency space need constant reiteration and constant patting on the back that things are okay. It's kind of driving me completely insane. In 2017, I believe it was, the U.S. SEC came forward and announced that Bitcoin was not indeed a security. They had no jurisdiction over it, and therefore it was a commodity and was to be ruled over or looked over by the CFTC. Sure, why not? Have a good day. There were then rumors circulating that Ethereum was a security because Ethereum had an ICO. It was like a type of pre-funding for the launch of the actual coin. I believe a lot of it was pre-mined as well and given to the actual creators. And therefore, it seemed like a security. The news that we had, allegedly, nobody knows, wink. Apparently, some money was passed around in the background, some suitcases filled with money. And therefore, Ethereum was also considered to also not be a security, which at the time was seen as like the worst thing in the entire world within the cryptocurrency space. If you were considered a security, boy howdy, stay away from me. And this is why I was also telling people, I was like, the CFTC also exists, right? They're also overlooking the Bitcoin and Ethereum markets. It's not simply a free-for-all because you're not a security. It's just simply that the SEC has a louder voice and they're a lot more greedy and they want to control everything as opposed to just certain things that actually look like they might be commodities. So the news is a lot of people are wondering, is this now the beginning of proper regulations? Are we going to have actual news as to what is what? The CFTC and the SEC, I'm not going to say exactly what I really think, and I almost just did it too. I think it would be nice if we are going to continue to have regulators in a space that does not really need excessive amounts of regulation to simply give us answers. What is XRP? Can you tell us if Litecoin is a commodity or not? They keep focusing on these two coins, and it only leads me to believe that they're being paid behind the scenes by someone to continue to give this information. I'm not asking for regulatory clarity for the 50,000 garbage coins that we have out there. Give us the top 20, the coins that keep rotating in and out of the top 10 or the top 20. Proper answer. What does this coin look like to you? This was popular because people are like, yeah, I can't believe it. They're not being regulated by the SEC. You have to understand the CFTC is also a gigantic regulatory body that has been around for just about 100 years as well. So no one's really in the clear. There's going to be extra regulations from both sides. It's just this typically falls on the shoulders of cryptocurrency exchanges. Like a lot of coins that are securities will also be able to be listed on cryptocurrency exchanges as well. They'll just need extra paperwork because we still live in the 1920s, apparently, according to all these regulatory bodies. So once again, why this was super popular news from some news that we had in 2017, not really sure. And also that sentence, I don't understand why that person was even on the news. That's the stupid news of the day. Let's be honest with ourselves. And yeah, let's move on. This has been news for the past 5 days. I just touched my temples with annoyance. Last 5 days, easily. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this should not have been news and more so why you should not be bragging about it. It says Ripple Labs is announcing or has announced a $100 million investment fund that will see carbon credit non-fungible tokens come to the XRP ledger. This is done as a please look over here, look at me, look at how special I am, look at what we're doing, paying attention. Please pay attention to our project kind of news. Carbon credits have been news for about good 3, 4, 5 years. The idea being companies are doing excessive amounts of CO2 dumping into the atmosphere, what have you, whatever means by which they're doing it. The idea of a carbon credit is, I know that as a company, I'm going to be doing something bad, and you pay another company that says, hey, I would like to increase the amount of bad stuff that I can do, carbon emissions. Therefore, here's my money. I'm going to pay you for it. Airline companies are always buying carbon credits because it sounds nice for the environment. No, you are paying some other company to allow you to be able to dump more into the atmosphere. That's what a carbon credit is. It's kind of like walking up to it. This is exactly what it's like. I mean, explicitly, for those of you who didn't get the first scenario. It's like walking up to a police officer, handing him $5 and saying, I'm going to do 5 bad things right now. He goes, okay, here are your 5 bad credits. And you do those 5 things kind of, without having to really worry about it. The news is that Ripple has put aside $100 million to be able to buy carbon credits because they know that they're going to be using excessive amounts of CO2 or whatever they're going to be doing. But the news being put out is, look how much money that we're putting aside to be able to buy carbon credits and help the environment, because Ripple has been one of those coins since around 2019 when the trickles of the story that Bitcoin's using too much electricity began to come out. And XRP said, wait, we don't use a lot of electricity. Look over here. Look how amazing we are. But this is very blatant. This is kind of in your face to say, hey, It's not a look how rich we are. It's a look how much we're doing to help the space. Pay attention to our project. And they made sure to also announce that they're going to be creating NFTs for it, which is complete nonsense. You don't need NFTs for carbon credits. Like, there are companies that actually keep track of all these things. You don't have to have it. It's just this is one gigantic publicity stunt. That's the word for it. According to a new press release, Ripple's new initiative aims to expedite carbon removal activities and technologies, as well as help streamline carbon-focused fintech and crypto projects. They said the funding will continue to support new functionality and developer tools that enable carbon credit tokenization as NFTs on the XRP ledger. This commitment will help progress towards globally agreed climate goals to help limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. You know how you actually do that? You make sure that as a government, like, have you ever walked by a car and you smell the fumes? It smells terrible all the time. You, as a government, you make sure that you make it your initiative and you give people lower taxes or some type of an initiative to be able to actually transfer over to an electric car. Or you stop as many cruise ships going around as are possible. Or you stop airlines from flying around for days at a time with no passengers inside of them to make sure that they maintain their spots in an airport. That is a really, we'd cut emissions by a huge amount. Anyway, the point is, this has been news for days. I cannot reiterate that enough. This was around last Wednesday that this news popped up, and it keeps popping up over and over. Carbon credits are a scam, for those of you who did not know that. They were created by and are being used by companies who know that they're doing terrible things to the world around them, but they're able to tell you, we bought more carbon credits, so we can do exactly what we want now. It sounds like a wonderful thing. I know it's not everyone's thing, if you will, but look into them. So I'm a bit disappointed that this was so in the news. I'm disappointed that they had a press release. I'm disappointed that they were that person who walked by a homeless person in the street, gave them $20, and made sure that everyone on the street knew that they put $20 into that cup. That's exactly what it is. If you do stuff like this behind the scenes, that's wonderful. I would actually want to, give $100 million to an actual cause who plans on actually cleaning up the world, as opposed to being like, let's create NFTs. Anyway, so that's the Ripple news. I've lost a bit of respect for them. And it's more so that this news came out once again on Wednesday. And then every single day it was constantly repopping up at everyone being like, wow, look how great Ripple is. It's like, no, this is all for press. It's kind of like, what's that guy's name? The founder of Tron. Remember when he paid $100 million for that website that no one uses and the other coin that no one also uses? And I was like, you know what you can do with $100 million to actually help people? And even more so, if you want to be stingy about it, to help people within the cryptocurrency space, $100 million on a website that no one uses, created a brand new coin, which is also garbage that no one's also using. But, you got to stay in the headlines. You got to make sure that people know that you're a good guy. They won't know otherwise. Yeah. Let's move on. This was the only website I saw talking about this, and I think that says a lot about the cryptocurrency space. Litecoin has finally, it's been about 39 years, Litecoin has finally announced the activation of Mimblewimble more than 2 years after it was first introduced. On the 2nd of May, Litecoin achieved a 75% network consensus threshold required for activation after months of dialogue with the different people who were mining Litecoin. Following this, Mimblewimble officially locked in an activation at block 2.2 million. A privacy-focused decentralized protocol that gets its name from the spell in Harry Potter, Mimblewimble enables users to conceal transactions with its confidentiality feature while providing a foundation for other blockchains to improve the usability of their tokens. With Mimblewimble's extension, Users of the network can opt in to have confidential transactions. The end goal is to enhance the viability of Litecoin as a fungible currency that can be used for real-world transactions by lowering fees and adding privacy, throughput, and scalability. For those of you who don't understand the idea, and I don't mean this in a condescending way, of a fungible currency, the US dollar is a fungible currency. I can hand you $1 bill, you hand me $1 bill. We can't really tell the difference, maybe because of the serial number. They look exactly the same. They relatively have the exact same value. In 2018, 2019, we don't have this news as much anymore, but it definitely still exists. The idea of a dirty Bitcoin. Why are there dirty Bitcoins? Let's say something illicit happened in 2013, 2014, whatever the case might have been. Those wallets, those addresses that took place in that activity were then blacklisted or simply surveyed by people on the network. They saw that coin went to this address, that address. 450 addresses later, at some point, it eventually got to you. Don't know how, but it got to you. It's in your wallet. You try to put those coins onto a cryptocurrency exchange because you want to sell or simply because you want the extra security in your mind. The coins get rejected. Why can't my coins be put onto that website? Hello, you receive an email. This still happens now. You receive an email. Hi, you are sending Bitcoin that was initially contacted or touched a restricted or blacklisted wallet. Where did you get these coins from? That's the idea of a dirty Bitcoin. You may have had nothing to do with it. However, those coins have a very dark history attached to them. This is when we had the idea of what a clean Bitcoin was, and why so many people were getting into the cryptocurrency space for mining activities is that they wanted to mine the Bitcoin themselves or have direct contact. Remember the news that we had that PayPal allegedly had direct contact with people who were mining Bitcoin to receive those coins immediately to be able to sell to everyone, so that they knew that these coins came out of the machine clean and had never touched any other illicit activity. Therefore, bringing it all back, the idea of a dirty Bitcoin and a clean Bitcoin is not as much in the news anymore, but it's still a thing. A lot of people won't give you or would not swap a Bitcoin one for one with you because the clean Bitcoin in essence has a little bit more value because it has no other transactions attached to it. That is the idea of a non-fungible currency. Even though one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, but one Bitcoin does not always equal one Bitcoin. That's the idea behind it. So the idea of Mimblewimble is to have private transactions on the network so that you are able to swap your coins back and forth without anyone being able to register or say, that is a dirty Litecoin, that's a clean Litecoin. One of the major prospects for this, it even says it right here, Mimblewimble's implementation on Bitcoin. This may take a while. Litecoin historically has been known as a test net for Bitcoin. It was originally created as kind of like an homage to Bitcoin with a 4x, the idea being there's 4 times the amount of everything for Litecoin, 4 times the amount of coins. I think transactions also happen on a 4x less, a 4x more kind of basis, whatever the actual case might be. But Litecoin is it's not a hard fork of Bitcoin. What is it? It's called a source code fork of Bitcoin. So we know that anything that happens or is taking place or can be upgraded on Litecoin can also be implemented on Bitcoin as well. Right. So the idea is we could, in essence, use Mimblewimble on top of Bitcoin as well and also have private transactions. There were many other proposals years ago to have private transactions on top of Bitcoin. A lot of them fell through. The discussions didn't really go through. I don't even think a lot of them even were put up for vote for network consensus. But now that we know that Mimblewimble has worked on Litecoin, there's nothing really stopping it from having it on top of Bitcoin as well, which would then give us near 100% fungibility with all other Bitcoin. I think part of the issue is, regardless of it being a decentralized currency or not, regulators would probably pounce immediately if Bitcoin had any type of private transactions. The idea of Mimblewimble is you can kind of switch them on and off. So if you want to put it onto a crypto exchange, you turn your confidential whatever off. You can put it onto an exchange, but if you're sending it amongst you and your friends or wherever it might be going, you can turn the switch on so that all transactions are then private. It's quite interesting. I would like to see this implemented on Bitcoin. I think at some point it will be. But yeah, after years of discussion, Litecoin finally has Mimblewimble. This was the only one that I could find that had information about this. Yeah. There was a lot of news about what Tron is doing, what these other coins are doing, but not that one of the actual legacy coins that has held on for the longest has official private transactions similar to Monero and Zcash. And you don't really hear Dash too much anymore, but you kind of get the idea. Yeah. Mimblewimble has finally activated on Litecoin. Now it's just a question of when do we have private transactions on Bitcoin? Yeah. Let's move on. Also, and I guess to finish things off, this is also, it's not controversial at all, but a lot of people are discussing this. United States Representative Byron Donalds has initiated a bill to the U.S. House of Representatives seeking to incorporate Bitcoin into every American home's 401k retirement plans. Right. See, this is why it made the news. It's a novel idea and bold, as the bill also significantly boosts the Financial Freedom Act of 2022, which was also set in motion this month. The bill by Donalds seeks to disallow the Department of Labor from barring crypto investments, mainly because account investors of the 401k should be given complete freedom to choose their investment types through a brokerage. I agree and disagree with that simply because I am really into the idea of retirement, early retirement. I have retired myself. I still do the YouTube channels, but I myself have already retired. This is like my side gig, if you will. But all my research that I've done when it comes to the crypto, when it comes to the retirement space, and what people know about retirement, it's almost nothing. And I mean like actually completely near nothing. I just watched a documentary about, I don't remember how the name of it. I'll try and find it if you are interested in it. It's actually a German documentary, and they're asking people within Germany how they feel about retirement. Do you save money? Do you have money saved? And I think it was something like 17% of Germans actually save money and or invest. And that's 17% out of the entire investable population. And even then, that 17%, they put away money. They literally will put away 50 euros a month. And that's about it. And they like, there's no idea of investing in their minds. And then the documentary, they're asking people, what would you invest in? What would you do? And they were like, money. I would invest in money. No. You have to invest in something to make the money. Well, I would put it into a stock. What stock would you put it into? The stock that, like, these people have no idea what's going on. The idea of inflation, not even just for Germans, but in general for people, is completely abstract. They don't understand it. The idea of retirement for many people seems completely undoable. It's just not a thing. These people believe they will never be able to retire because, once again, they believe that they need millions of dollars to be able to retire. So asking people to choose exactly what their investments are going to be through their brokerage is a bit, it works for a select portion of the population who know how to invest and are financially literate. But for the other 80-something%, like, imagine asking your mother or your aunt or your grandmother or your father or your grandfather to choose where to put their money into their investment plan. They would look at you like you're crazy. I heard about apples the other day. Is apples going up? Like they would not know where to do it. So I think this is a great initiative where companies who are investing or who have retirement accounts on behalf of their clients should legally be able to invest in cryptocurrencies as a 5% or less allocation, as crypto is incredibly risky, into the actual retirement accounts. But, the whole shebang, no, that's not, because heaven forbid, imagine people thinking, because we've seen it before. If you've been on this channel before, how many times have I told you, what's the phrase? If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. If it looks like something is ridiculous in the cryptocurrency space, is giving you a 29% yearly return, something is probably wrong. Oh my gosh, my friend sent me something the other day, and I froze as I was walking down the street. It was like screenshots of people on Reddit who were talking about how much money they had taken out as loans. Please, for the love of actual goodness on this planet, do not take out any loans if you can avoid them ever. I understand that they are necessary in part, kind of esque in the United States for receiving an education. I don't agree with it, but sure, why not? Do not take out loans to buy crypto. That, my friend, is actual financial advice. The amount of people I saw, and my friend was sending me screenshot, who over the years, remember that guy who was, multiple guys who were crying in their cars because they took out $50,000 loans to put into BitConnect? He was showing me these people talking about, I took out a $75,000 loan against the house to put into Luna Terra. I'm sorry, what? There is no investment that is 100. You see, my hand is balled up into a fist. Unclenching. There's no investment that is 100% secure. None. If anyone tells you there is one, no, they're lying to you, because even gold during times of prosperity or whatever have also fallen. Do not. The only money you should, and I mean this is a gigantic should written in the sky, is after you have paid your rent. I have a roof over my head for another month after you have paid your electric, your gas bill, your child support. I don't care what you have. When all those things have been paid and you have food in your stomach and in your refrigerator, and you happen to have extra money that you would have used to go buy shoes, a TV, whatever, frivolous things, that is then the money that you can have a conversation with yourself and decide if you want to put that into the cryptocurrency space. I am flabbergasted. This is why, like I said, I think the idea of allowing the retirement companies who know what is risk and off risk, especially as you usually want less risk as you are getting towards retirement age, they should be able to allocate a tiny portion of that fund to say, Bitcoin might go up by X amount in 10 years. Our clients would like this. If we lose that amount of money in the fund, it won't really affect it as it's only 5%. But allowing people to have actual no. I've had too many conversations with family members and other friends who are not into any market. They have no idea where to put their money. So anyway, got a little bit off topic. The point is, please don't take out loans. And I mean that from the bottom of my TMI heart. I understand that it's very attractive or enticing to want to find extra money from somewhere to be able to throw into any market. This ain't it. It's not. Don't fall for the things on Instagram and other people and other YouTubers who keep posting, yeah, man, I made about $395 million last year. How'd you do that? Well, I bought an NFT. I bought one crypto coin. It's always some type of really weird story that they're probably lying to you about. You don't have to live up to their hype and to their lives. That's why I told you before. Figure out what your monthly expenses are. Write it down, old school, pen and paper. Figure out what those are and start creating passive income sources that cover that. You can get there in less than 7 years. It seems difficult. It's not. You will have retired. You will be a lot happier, and you will not have taken out $75,000 as a loan that you have to pay back to someone that you lost. It's not worth it. 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 Anyway, This was also quite popular news, as we've had other things like this before with other retirement plans in the States. I think Fidelity was also one of them. I think they also launched a retirement plan that's also investing in Bitcoin. But, you know, you get the point. Moving on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. GBU Wally. I like how I woke up more as the video went on, but like my eyes still feel tired. It's a weird feeling. GBU Wally. Bubble Mode. How's life, Austin? Auspicious Agile and Blockchain. Jamie Saad. Blockchain Simplified. And let's move on. Empire Queen. Roman Geba. Bitcoin Ben. Arachno Dave. Tony Ambroski. The Dealer's Den. Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Mobarazzi, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd, Mullis, Adam, Graysick, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara Machonisa, On Crypto with Lionel, and Crayola Michelle, URL. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who has left a like, has left a comment, has subscribed, everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. I do thank thee. At the moment, Bitcoin is up by 4%. Ethereum is up by 4.9%. Binance Coin is up by 9%. It's a sea of green, except for Binance Coin, but that's a stable coin, so it's totally fine. Cardano is up by 3%. Solana is up by 7%. Dogecoin is up by 2%. Avalanche, ironically, once again, is up by 8 percentile points. Anything like crazy. Litecoin's only up by 3.4%. It should be up by... Litecoin has private transactions now. Like, it is and can be the privacy coin of choice. But alas, Uniswap is up by 8%. Monero is up by 10%. Chainlink is up by 6% as well. Cosmos is up by 5%. Anything crazy happening? VeChain is up by 5.9%. Sandbox is up by 6%. Zcash is up by 6%. Pancakes are up by 7%. Clayton is up by 8%. Axie Infinity is slightly recovering. They've had a difficult couple of months there. And Phantom is up by, Phantom is up by 18%. What a life to be a time. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you had a great weekend. My weekend was rough. I'm tired. It's birthdays and dinners, and I'm like really exhausted. I've also been traveling a lot. I need to go to sleep. Thank you all. Wait. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening. There we go. Wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.